My name's Rob. This morning I just bought a transit van and I'm going to be converting it into a home basically. Alright, and we're back. I lost some footage because my SD card on my phone decided that it was going to break. So let's just have a quick catch up on what's been happening. Right, so starting from the back of the van, I've been running the wire in for the reversing camera, and then it runs down along here where these other cables are. You can just see it's hanging down there, all the way across, up this beam by the door, across the top, down the front, behind a little plastic panel over by the window, and then it goes down behind the glove box thing and around, and at the moment it just sort of is tucked away behind the steering wheel. Next of all, we got this free sofa bed given to me by a lady called Angie who lives quite local, and she was giving it away on Facebook. I saw it crop up and I was like, yep, I'll have that. Okay, bed mode activate. Boom. Simple as that. Now that is pretty wide. In fact, it's too wide, and what I'm actually going to have to do is modify it, which basically means cut some of it off. It's going to be quite a job, but it's not too difficult. I've had a little look, see how it's put together. It should happen, it should be okay. And lastly, you might have just noticed there that I've been working on the bulkhead. Can't really see because the light's coming in. So I've put some boards up here. These are quite fiddly to fit. This back bit of the window frame here, that was very fiddly to fit. I'm just going to finish by putting some finishing around this edge just to tidy that up. That will go white as well, so it'll look like a nice window. Eventually that'll all get painted. So all the insulation's in there. I can't show you it because it's all been done. On the other side, and this is the other side, the cab side, I've used this kind of vehicle felt stuff. You've probably seen quite a few people use it. I'm just going to refer to it as fluff because I don't know what it's actually called. So I've put this fluff in. It's come out pretty good. It's right up there and up all the way around the window. Sorry if that looked terrible, and it just goes all the way down to the floor as well. So yeah, it looks pretty good though. So this is the fluff that I was talking about. It's pretty thin, it's pretty flimsy, but it's good. You can just chuck it almost anywhere really, anywhere you want it. And I just stuck it on the back of the bulkhead with some adhesive spray and stuff, contact adhesive. So there you go. It's sort of a bit fuzzier on one side than it is on the other, so easy to tell which end you're sticking to the wall really. So yeah, that's what I've been getting up to. Right, so we're trying to fit the ladder on the back of the van, and the rivets are so strong that we're having to use a ratchet strap to try and pull the rivet gun shut.
It's not going well.
And yeah, well, it's not going well. Right, we now have a ladder. Ta-da! Right, so it's Friday evening, the 19th, I think. Tracy's kind of cab area is looking a little worse for wear. It's a bit dark. I can hear some thunder coming in, so it's going to start chucking it down with rain soon. But yeah, we're trying to fit the reversing camera, and what I'm going to do is I pulled the stereo out and everything, as you can see. We're going to fit that in here, which is where the cigarette lighter goes, cigar lighter, whatever you want to call it, as you can see. So we're going to hook that up to this wire. What I might do as well is just put a switch in, because this is always live, even when the keys aren't in the ignition. So I might hook up this wire to a little switch down here on the front, just around here somewhere. So you actually switch the whole lighter on and off, and then from that go on to the monitor and the camera for the reversing. That's the plan. We'll crack on with that in the morning, I guess. I'm going to get in now because it's starting to rain. Right, Saturday morning, first thing I want to do is hook up this switch. So I'm just going to cut these two wires into it. This is the connector that goes into the back of the cigar lighter just here. So we've cut the live wire there, and we're just going to hook in this switch. Once the switch is in, we can start hooking up the wires for the camera and the screen. Now, because I haven't soldered before in my life, we're going to do a couple of test runs on some of this green wire down here. A quick little tip if you want to do this, because these crocodile clips are sometimes quite strong on these, I think they're called a third hand or something. What you might want to do, I mean, I'm not worried about this bit because I'm just testing, but you can put some electrical tape or something around here just so it doesn't dig into the wire and damage it. This is my first solder ever. It's pretty strong. But it's not gone quite all the way around. You can have a look underneath. You still see there's a load of wire. Oh, hold on. You see there's a load of wire that hasn't got any solder on it, so it's not great, but for a first attempt, I'd say that's pretty good. Certainly ain't coming apart. So the first solder we're going to do is this green wire, which turns on the camera at the back, and this red wire which goes to the fuse, which is just the power for the screen. And because we've got the switch that we're putting in, we can just hook these both up together. And then whenever it's switched on, they'll always be on. First solder's done. Obviously you could argue that, you know, with this little metal clip thing I could have just unclipped it and put the wire in and clipped it all back down again, but I don't have the tools to do that, so I've just soldered it on. It's come out pretty good, I think. As I was saying about the crocodile clips damaging the cables, you can see just along here, if it will stay in focus, you can see there's a bit of damage on that green cable there. That's even with the tape on there, so I'm just going to put a little bit of black tape over those just so it won't get any worse. I can't see any wire showing through it, but better safe than sorry. Next little soldering job is to connect these two wires to this 12 volt switch. And these ends of these wires here are going to go on the ends of these cables, which go down to the connection for the cigar lighter. There. And once they're connected, that middle one needs to have this wire connected, which goes to the cameras and everything, and then all I've got to do is hook up the ground wire, which is going to go up here somewhere, just where I've pulled the stereo out, and just under this little bit where I've left my ratchet. You should be able to see, I can't see the screen here, but just down here, this is a grounding point. Hopefully you saw that, I don't know, and that's where that's going to go. Alright, Sunday 21st of May. What have we done today? We've got the reversing camera fitted up on the roof properly now. Here's the reversing camera that's now fixed to the roof. Put some gungy stuff over the screws, make sure it doesn't leak, and there is a rubber grommet on that, but it was a little bit loose, so we've just not tidied it up, we've made sure it doesn't leak. Yesterday evening I finished fitting the screen on the dash. So here's our reversing camera screen. We've run the wire in here. This is here so I can unplug it whenever I want. So, you know, I haven't got to leave it there and risk someone breaking in. Cut a hole in there so that wire runs down, runs all the way through the back of the dashboard, around the back of there, all the way across, because I was going to have it down here, but it didn't look very good, so the wire runs down, up that, across the top of there, back into the back of the van, and then I've just got to tidy up where it runs through there. You can probably see it just hanging down at the back. So the whole thing is wired up to this, which is always on, even if the key's on in ignition, as I can show you. No key, so we just flick the switch here, turn it on, and without getting the person's number plate in the shot, there you go, you can see that's the lovely garage doors behind me and my ladder that I fitted the other day. And then we just flick it again to turn it off. There you go. So I can either have that on while I'm driving along, which is good. I've made a start on getting the insulation in around the lower part of the van for now. A bit of a nightmare, but it's getting there. And I've also been putting some of the hosing in to run the wiring through. I've been running some of this hose pipe around the van, especially up through here, up this bit. And then what I've done is run my electrical wire. This is free, I don't know if you can just about see that there, it's a bit blurry, sorry. That is free core, flexible, not normal household building cable, because you can't flex that stuff. So this is the flexible stuff, and this is just the sort of mains electric. I'm going to run some different wire for the lights and such, but I'll do pretty much the same thing. I'll be running this hose pipe round and then running the wire through it, because it just makes it so much easier. As you can see, this one that's gone through there, across the top, comes down, and then you can see it goes through here into another bit and just runs through there. Where does it come out? It comes out around here somewhere. There you go, like that. Sorted. And that's been going on everywhere. And that wraps up episode 6. Thank you for your patience in waiting for these videos. I know I don't roll them out that often. It's difficult with, you know, work life and everything else that I need to do to try and get stuff done in here. And again, almost every time I do something in here, it's the first time I've done it before in my life. So, you know, it takes a long time to get things done, unfortunately. But yeah, thank you for all your messages, all your comments and everything. It's been fantastic to hear from you all. Just keep the comments coming. I love the comments. Keep them coming in. I'll do my best to answer any questions as always. Hopefully in the next video we'll see the solar panels going up on the roof. That's the job that needs to get done. Then we should be able to finish off getting the insulation in. I've also been contemplating getting a window for the sliding door here, much like I've got on this side. I'll probably go ahead with that actually. Cost me about 120 quid to get it done, new window and everything. Again, thanks for watching guys, and we'll see you in the next episode. See ya!